Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 13th of February. So looking at the pound dollar first, and well, yesterday we saw a bit of a potential reversal candle. We're seeing a bit of follow through at the moment, heading towards the weekly pivot, it would suggest. Still never managed to do that yet. Still in this more significant downtrend, but if we can break the 4 hourly 21, maybe we've got the chance of pushing up through towards that weekly pivot, maybe some more. The euro is certainly ahead of the pound at the moment in that respect. The pound, when you look at the 60-minute, has sort of walked out of some of the shorter term trend lines there. But as I said, it's in that bigger trend still, but certainly showing some earlier signs of potential. Now, it got quite pinched yesterday in terms of the price action, so it won't take too much to sort of get stuck within that rut, to continue in that rut if you're not careful. Very little data coming out, although actually today we got that 9:30, the inflation data, CPI number coming out at 9:30, so that might just give the pound a kicker one way or the other. Okay, so at the moment erring towards that sort of, as I say, more bullish side, maybe that weekly pivot. Any break of the lows here, let's just pop the review this line here, because it's just curled around a little bit here, so any break of that may see us head south, possibly towards yesterday's lows, the S1 area. Okay, that's the pound. Let's go back to the euro. Euro's sort of getting a bit more momentum into this move now. It diverged on its 4 hourly over the over the weekend in Friday, and it pushed up through across, and yesterday pushed up some more after a bit of a deepish retrace, but certainly looking a little bit more positive at the moment. Again, with this one rather, it has actually broken the major trend line, down trend line there at the moment, and is sort of pushing for a decent wave up. Maybe, I mean, the thing is, again, yesterday the range has got a bit pinched from the pivot perspective. We could be sort of running into the R2 pretty easy, but if this momentum continues, I would look more towards the moving averages of 6,200 maybe for the upside. Once again, a break of this lower trend line, well, look for corrections back to the sort of major moving average, 60.21 for example. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, well, has strengthened. We've seen a move to the south side there, push further down. It's a rather solid move through this through the Asian session there. This could just be the reaction of the Japanese traders coming back from holiday, as it may have been suggested, but well, it was already in a downward trend there, so just continuing in that trend. Okay, broken through, right through the daily pivots there. I mean, yesterday was a very thin old day in trading there. It's certainly made a move into an oversold territory. It may give us opportunities to sell into retracements. Aussie dollar. Okay, so the Aussie dollar is starting to look like it may be making a bit of a recovery here as well. There are some trend lines across the highs still, which well, actually they're probably broken now, because they was quite tight up. They have been broken now, so they're broken. So really looking at the shorter term moves here, you see the solid 4 hourly move down there. One thing with the Aussie dollar is it hasn't had sort of a lot of whipsawing. It's just straightforward, slow sell off, slow buy. Without significant moves. So it'll be interesting to see the reaction to this 4 hour 50 here, but it does look like it's got started this more especially on this hourly point of view, this more solid upside here, which could see a continuation really. Certainly looks solid at the moment. Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar struggled somewhat. Yesterday didn't really do too much. Very tight range again, very small ranges. It does look like at some point it could roll through that weekly pivot, but it's not made the move particularly easy here. But even on this hourly point of view, it's I mean, as I said, the weekly pivot to me is pivotal. If it can break that level, well, then we could be back towards that 6200 down to that sort of way, and a bit more of a correction in line with the other markets. So that's pretty much it. As I said, there's very little news today. We've got the inflation data out at for the UK at 9:30. At 1 p.m. we have got a FOMC speaker due to speak on about the economic outlook and monetary policy at the Dayton area Chamber of Commerce. So may get a bit of volatility coming through from that point of view, from that meeting. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.